You know, we've got apps for pretty much everything these days, right? Tracking our steps, meditating, even learning a new language. But what happens when you try to use that same digital playbook for something as complicated and, well, as human as addiction? Can an app really, truly help someone on that long, tough road to recovery? Today, we're going to look at a project that basically threw out the rule book and tried something completely. I mean, think about it. For anyone who's been close to it, you know recovery isn't some finish line you just cross. It's a daily, sometimes hourly struggle to prevent a relapse. It's all about navigating those everyday things, stress, relationships, even just being bored, that can pull you right back into old habits. So how on earth do you build a tool that can actually make a difference in those moments? So that's exactly the question a team from Polaki University Olomouc and addiction specialists at APPstinuj in the Czech Republic decided to tackle. They knew right away that some generic wellness app just wasn't going to cut it. What they wanted to build was something different, not a replacement for therapy, but a true partner in the process. A digital tool that could actually support the real work being done with a human therapist.
And get this, before we even dive into the features, you have to hear the nickname it got from its users, the High School of Abstinence. Yeah, it sounds a little intense, doesn't it? But it perfectly captures the whole idea behind this thing. Recovery is a skill. It's something you have to learn and practice every single day.
All right, so here it is. This is APPstinuj, and honestly the first thing that jumps out is what it isn't. It's not flashy, there are no games, it's not constantly buzzing with notifications. It was designed to be this calm, focused space, a practical tool that acts as a bridge between your therapy sessions, not just another digital distraction.
Okay, so what does that actually mean for someone using it day to day? How does APPstinuj help you navigate the ups and downs of recovery? Well, it all breaks down into 3 core pillars: monitor, learn, and cope. First up, you have My Day, where users can track how they're doing and start to spot potential triggers. Then there's education, which is basically a library of resources to help them understand the why behind addiction and recovery. And finally, and this is really cool, there's the KPZ, which translates to a box of last resort, a personal toolkit for when things get really tough. Now, this My Day feature looks so simple on the surface. You just rate these key areas of your life on a scale from 1 to 10. But when you do that over time, wow, this simple act creates this incredibly powerful visual map. For the first time, you and your therapist can actually see the patterns. Whoa, look at that. Every time my stress hits a 7, my temptation to use goes way up. It takes all these fuzzy feelings and turns them into concrete data. It makes the invisible visible. And then there's the KPZ, or the SOS box. This is where the app it really gets personal and powerful. This is not some list of generic inspirational quotes. It's a digital space that you fill with your own sources of strength. Maybe it's a photo of your kids, a screenshot of a supportive text from a friend, or the phone number of your sponsor. It is a completely personalized crisis plan, built by you, for you, ready to go at a moment's notice. So you have to wonder, right? How did they create something so thoughtful, so user-focused? Well, they didn't just lock themselves in a room and guess. APPstinuj was built hand in hand with the very people it was designed to help. It's really a masterclass in how to build a digital health tool that's grounded in real science and real lived experience. I mean, just look at the numbers. On the professional side, they held 28 different focus groups with therapists, psychologists, and social workers. That is not just a couple of meetings. That's a deep, ongoing conversation to make sure every single feature was clinically sound and actually served a therapeutic purpose. But, and this is so important, they didn't stop there. They also did 31 in-depth interviews with clients who were actually in addiction services. They sat down and they just listened to their stories, their struggles, and what they hoped a tool like this could do for them. That's how you build something people will actually use and trust. And underpinning all of this is some serious, legitimate science. The app is built on principles from what's called third-wave cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It's all about helping users develop real, practical skills for managing those tough cravings and difficult emotions. So it's not just about tracking stuff. It's about learning new ways to think and to act. And because they listened so carefully to everyone involved, they ended up making some pretty radical choices. It turns out sometimes the most powerful design decision isn't what you add, but what you very intentionally leave out. Okay, so this is what really sets APPstinuj apart from pretty much every other health app you've ever seen. First, you can't just go download it from the App Store. It's a prescribed tool. It's part of a whole therapy program.
And second, and this is huge, there is no gamification. No points, no badges, no streaks. They realize that for people fighting addiction, especially things like gambling, those very same mechanics could be incredibly dangerous, incredibly triggering. It's such a profound insight, and it really challenges that whole gamify everything mindset we see in tech. So, what's the big takeaway from this small but deeply thoughtful project? Well, it kind of points to a different future for digital health. One that isn't about replacing human therapists with some smart algorithm, but instead, it's about creating tools that can make that human connection even stronger and empower people in their own recovery. You know, the creators of APPstinuj said it perfectly themselves. They said their goal was to create a bridge between clients and professionals. The app gives them a common language, a shared set of data that can make those precious in-person therapy sessions more focused, more productive, and in the end, more healing.
And the story of APPstinuj really leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? In our race to innovate, are we maybe forgetting the power of simplicity, of empathy, and of human-centered design? And you have to wonder, what other parts of our lives could be made better, not by apps that try to replace us, but by technology that's designed from the ground up to support and deepen human connection?